For?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Uh,
Talk to him.
I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do. If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. Got shorty, she tryna bless me like I said I chew. Like a nigga sneeze, nigga please for them trick and squeeze, I'm getting cream. Never let them hoes get in between of what we started. Little nigga, but I'm lying hearted. They love me when I was stuck in their head, and when I departed, I go and get it regardless. Draw it like I'm an artist, no crawling, went straight to walking with foreigns in my garages are foreign bitches menaging, fucking sucking and swallowing anything for $1. They tell me get him, I got him. I did it without an album. I did shit with Mariah. Little nigga, I'm on fire. Icy as a hockey ring, Philly nigga, I'm flyer. When I bought the Rolls Royce, they thought it was lease. Then I bought that new Ferrari, hater, rest in peace. Hater, rest in peace to the parking lot. Phantom so big, can't even fit in the parking spot. You ain't talking about my niggas, then what you talking about? Gangsters moving silence, nigga, and I don't talk a lot. I don't say a word. I don't say a word, was on my grind and now I got what I deserve. Fuck nigga, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? When I bought ass tomorrow, y'all thought it was rented? Flexing on these niggas, I'm like,
man.
on this finish, double in me. That's why
Hold
T-Rose
on.
say the captain
You
on
must do my
lieutenant. I'm
bar.
the type of cat that mean casting, grind like I'm broke.
Hey,
That
hold
Lambo,
on.
my
Let's
new
talk
bitch,
music
she
with
ride
Dom
like
Lee.
my
Let's talk.
ghost.
We ain't never let no music. We ain't even let. Hold on, bro. We don't play a whole. We don't play Nipsey. We don't play Jeezy. We don't play T.I. We ain't let nobody rock for 2 minutes. I gotta stop this nonsense. What in the world? But this is that you can, it's one of those, man. I was waiting for it just to get to the switch, and that's what we have.
Switch.
You gotta wait till you get to the switch, man. Talking music with Diamond Lee right here on Riz Radio. Download the app, man. The producer, the artist, the singer, the creative himself, getting the vibes right, Dom. Period. Man, check that man out. Music streaming, Fly Away, Girl, You Look Fly. My man says it's got a little twist to it, a little pop, but it's got a rap verse on it that you just can't deny.
That's right.
Hey, tell him. So
you gotta let them know.
You gotta let them know. I go by name Poetic Lee, Poeticlee. Hey, we here on the platform. Shout out to Asia Cobbs, Riz Radio. Download the app. Just the app that's hosting 2 artists, so they own rights, they own kind, and they own damn mine. Dom, man.
Lee.
Yeah, man. Is that how you feeling today?
You know what? Dreams and nightmares. Dreams come true. You know, we're here. 2012. Damn, I forgot. Hold on. Hold on. Still relevant.
2012, bro. 2012, and for probably about a good it's still relevant, like you said, but for probably about a good 8 years, had any moment that you played it on lock, on a chokehold.
Absolutely. Because it's one of those. That's like, to me, for the longest time, that song was like, if he didn't put out any music after that, I'm fine. Because it's just like, like that perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Even down to like the engineering of it. Like, I've seen the engineer speak about it and how he even approached it, and I was like, you did that exactly the right way. Because what he said was, he was like, all right, the first half we're making it clean. You know, we're cleaning it up. That second half,
oh yeah, gritty.
There ain't a clean thing about that.
Gritty.
Playing in the mud.
Let it be in the mud. Because I mean, at that point, it's mayhem.
Yeah. What do you mean?
It's just mayhem at that point.
You let it go.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
I want to, maybe a conversation of like in the past 15 years, best intros. Maybe we have that conversation.
Oh, it's top. It's up there.
It's top.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. Like, I mean, it has to be. I can't even.
It's there because of is it there? Let me ask you.
Okay.
We'll get into it real quick. Just real quick. Is it there because of impact? How much is it there because of impact alone?
I think so. I mean, I think it has to be because it's one of them, bro.
Yeah.
It's one of them. Like, it's such an undeniable record. And here's the thing. I feel like it's such an undeniable record because it did have its mainstream impact and also a cultural impact. And not a lot of songs do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're rapping every single word of that.
Yeah.
Every word. If we were on live, I would be rapping the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ooh, let me ask you this. Chance the Rapper, and I'm not comparing.
Okay.
But you're up to date. You're into the Coloring Book, right?
What's your question? I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you listen to the Coloring Book, right?
I think I've heard it.
Okay. No Problem was one of the singles from there.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Okay.
You remember the song All We Got?
No.
Oh, dang. Okay. All right. Never mind.
I could pull it up.
Yeah, you can pull it up. I was going to ask you how does that rank in intros, but yeah, while you pull that up, All We Chance the Rapper, All We Got, the Coloring Book mixtape by Chance the Rapper, 2016, won a Grammy Award for Best Rap Album.
Okay.
And that came out on SoundCloud, and that was a very controversial project. Well, not controversial in content, but controversial on the business end, because it was viewed as diverse, independent. First SoundCloud project to get a Grammy in independent album, but there were different things behind that. Like Apple had an exclusive license to it. Does that make it really independent? Chance, he would usher in this conversation about being independent, but then I think that started to really boil down, because in that time period too, you have Russ doing it like bubbling, doing it a different way,
for sure.
And then you have Chance saying independent, but are you really independent when you have all these exclusive deals with people? And I don't want to get into that right now. If you want to, you can.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'll just
just play it.
I apologize.
Hey, that's good. We still there. We still there. Talking music with Dom and Lee. Riz Radio. This is all we got.
And we back. 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 And we and we back. And we back. Hey, this ain't no intro. This the entree. Hit that intro with Kanye. I sound like Andre. Tryna turn my baby mama to my fiance. She like music, she from Houston, like Auntie Beyonce. Man, my daughter couldn't have a better mother. If she ever find another, you better love her. Man, I swear my life is perfect. I can merge it. If I die, I'll probably cry at my own service. It was a dream. You cannot mess with the beam. This is like this many rings. Y'all know what I mean. This for the kids of the king of all kings. This is the onlyest thing. This is the beat that played under the word. This is the sheep that ain't like what it hurt. This is officially first. This is the third. This is the this is all we got. So we might as well give it all we got.
Yeah. Hey, the crazy thing is, so that project still is up on SoundCloud. I think that's pretty. Yeah, that project's still up on SoundCloud, which it should be. It should be if you're gonna claim that.
Exactly.
That track alone, 18.3 million streams. But I mean, yeah, it's a good chunk. But if you the one that really kills it is the No Problem, Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz. That's 85.9 million streams on SoundCloud.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, good intro.
Yeah, solid intro. I was just thinking top hip hop intros in the past 15 years, and
that's good. Shoot. That's good. I might have to go back and listen to it, because I didn't really like the whole like Chance being independent thing, like how he was pushing it.
Yeah.
Just because of like everything that was happening around that time, where people were like, I'm independent, I'm doing this independent, but then like you look at it and it's like not independent. I think I was just fed up with that whole narrative, because I'm like, you're clearly not independent. I would just appreciate it if you were just honest about what business you have, so you stop lying and acting like you're truly doing this all independent. That was my whole thing.
No, I got you. And that brings about the question. If you're the one funding Studio Time, funding the production, funding the engineering, funding the hold on, let me put this asterisk by marketing, funding those three aspects.
Yes.
And just when it comes down to now, you found a good partner to distribute this music through. Does that still, in your eyes, does that still make you independent?
I think you're independent, but I think you saying that you're solely independent is misleading. Because
absolutely.
you're not, because you're not saying that, oh, you have someone that's backing you. You're trying to act like you and I are the same, and it's like we're not, because you now have access to millions of dollars. And I'm over here paying too much money for studio time that I don't even want to pay for. So it's like, you know.
Yeah. Is being independent, like, I think we're going out of that phase of an independent kind of being like the hype and trend.
You know, I hope so. At least lying about it, you know. That needs to stop.
I don't think that's ever going to go anywhere, bro.
That's
to
true.
Be honest with you, to be honest, I think in this time frame, until something shifts where it looks like somebody can still be respected as their own entity, I don't think that'll go anywhere. Like before, it used to, man, growing up, the big thing was you wanted to be signed. Oh man, I'm on so and such label. I'm on so and such label. Then I don't know. I can't. Was it the Chance the Rapper thing? Was it him or more? Was it him who had more of an impact of something being independent, of the independent trend movement? Him or Russ? Who do you think in your eyes had more kind of like influence in that realm, in that world? I'm gonna say Russ, because of how he kind of spoke about it. I think Chance might have may have made a lane for more of the gloss.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. I think it's Russ because of what you're saying, where how he speaks about it.
Yeah,
I mean, how he continues to speak about it, because even though he has ties to, I don't know if he's like signed or if he just has like a deal with a certain label. I don't remember which one he has, but even though he does have those deals, he still talks as like an independent artist, meaning like he is still, you know, going on tours. He still drops music. He does the merch. He does all the things, and he speaks to that. And I never felt like Chance really even tried to help with that. He just kind of was like, I am independent. No. And we're like, okay. And Russ is like, I'm independent and this is what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got his I'm gonna tear the name up of his own label situation. I want to say
Diamond.
Okay, yeah, Diamond. And I don't know if he's gonna end up putting more artists on that. I don't know if you kind of know anything about that.
I don't know much. I think he has like, I know he has one a woman named Haley. I know that. And he found her off of TikTok just because he was scrolling one day and he was like, "Oh, you're talented." Yeah. I mean, I know I don't really know much about it, but if I were to like make assumptions, I would assume that he's using his label as more of like a platform for their music instead of being like a label, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, he launched this in 2022 March, in the beginning of 2022, and you know, just to what you said, you know, he said everyone owns their own masters, everyone owns their own publishing. This is an artist-friendly label. We don't eat off your merch or tours, and everything's a profit split deal. We're not looking to invest in an artist to just change their music. We're not looking to invest in an artist just to change their music. If we like an artist enough to sign them, it's because we like what they're doing.
Yeah. Simple. That's literally what it should be. Not you have the face, but nothing to attribute to it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's both ends of it though. I think it's
just a place for it.
Yeah, because maybe this gives us a good transition into the Russ comment on AI. Shoot, I didn't have that. Damn, I should have had that plugged in.
I can say Russ song in the interim.
All right. We'll do that in just a moment, and I'm gonna give this thought, and then we'll play a Russ song, and I'll plug this in because I do want to like speak on his take on the AI situation.
For sure.
I think it is definitely a twofold situation. What you're looking for as in entertainment and in art, because while entertainment composes art is not entertainment. It can be entertained, but it's not entertainment.
I understand.
So I think Russ speaks from more of an artistic lens, and Russ speaks as an artist. And I think, rightfully so, he has his own gripes of what entertainment is and how that scene is set up. But at the end of the day, we live in a society, we live in a world where people, and that's why I say with artists, like when you go into the real world and real reality of day in, day out people want to be entertained. Like, sure, people want to be educated too. People want to be informed as well. But essentially, people, they want to sit there and receive. They want to just receive, right? They want to. We live in a consumption world, a consumer world, or a society here in America specifically. So, with that being said, at the same time, I'm not knocking labels too that also know how to recognize somebody that knows how to put on a good face. But they may not be able to be the one to create the art. And now, hey, we got a good package of being able to still sell this or whatever sell where we have to sell.
Absolutely.
So I think it just go. But I think what he's putting together for what he has, I think it's going to be interesting. Now, I am interested more in the business part of that because
with Russ and his label, or
whatever. I mean, because if you're saying that, I'd like to know more of the business part. You don't eat off the merch tours. I get that.
I wish I remember what because there was one, I guess it's a conference. I don't know what it's called, a gathering of people.
Yeah.
Those. I don't know. They're mainly not informative. So it's like, what are we?
We're going to talk about those one day. We're going to have a nice conversation about how all you
grifters. Let's call them that. But yeah, no, I will say that Boogus. I'm gonna fuck up. I feel like I'm fucking up his name. His Russ's partner. He was at the gathering of people, and he did discuss
the gathering of minds.
There we go. Yeah. Gathering of minds. He was there, and he did discuss it. And I remember how I felt hearing it, and I was like, okay, y'all are like legit. Y'all are like for the art. I can't remember what he said. I just remember how I felt hearing it, and I was just like, oh, like you guys care. Crazy. What a concept. You're here for the music. You're not just like, okay.
As you wouldn't be probably surprised of another artist, another rapper that's on Diamond Records. I'm not even trying to see if you can guess it, but it is another Russ, but La Russell.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking on their Instagram. Diamond Records has Russ, Boogus, La Russell. Yeah, right there.
Well, then now I need to know what they do. now I need to know what they offer as a label. Now I need to know. Is it just the connections? Because if it's just the connections, that's still something.
Man. Yeah. I'm gonna be like you when it came to the Timbaland situation. I just need no more. I'm not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything. I'm gonna kind of just wait, because all I'm gonna say is I think sometimes I don't want to say this without sounding away. Not that some things can sound better than what they are. Like that might be the theme of the show with Chance situation and him being independent, but it gets to a certain part based on the artist that you're dealing with and how if you're associated to something, if you play in the NBA, I'm not mad at the NBA having a percentage of your jersey sale.
Yeah.
If you are on a team, I'm not mad at the team. Yeah, if you're on the team, I'm not mad at the team being able to say, hey, yeah, we have a percentage of all the bobbleheads that we sell at our games of you. Like, you're the one that people are buying, but guess who has the platform for people to actually get them as well? And on the like, you may be able to touch for hypothetical numbers, you may be able to touch 5,000 people, but we can put this out now, touch 100,000 because they're coming through our doors.
For sure.
Now, I think that in a real world, when you crunch the numbers, I think it sounds good to be like, oh no, we don't touch this, we don't touch that. But at a certain point, something's gonna get touched.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, that's how it goes. It's still business at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think, I just want to know what they offer.
But I don't see. So Russell is he's in the bio, but interesting enough, he's not. I don't see any post on their Instagram of him.
Or is that Instagram active or not?
That's a great. Why would you not have this Instagram active? Now stop, Dom. You're doing a thing.
I'm not doing anything.
Why do you do this? Hold on, man. You might have to go. Let's go to the AI because you do it. Because once I click on one of the posts and I see 95 weeks.
See?
Stop.
Hey, I didn't do anything.
You did do the thing.
I asked a simple question that I didn't know the outcome to.
That question alone.
I was furthering the conversation.
Because I was already online looking like, why don't I see a website for them?
Hey man, maybe they're going through a shift, a regime shift,
Dom.
I'm gonna hit play real quick. You get connected. Riz Radio.
She's falling in love now, losing control now, fighting the truth, trying to hide, but I think it's alright, girl. Yeah, I think it's alright, girl. Ooh. She's falling in love now, losing control now, fighting the truth, trying to hide, but I think it's alright, girl. Yeah, I think it's alright, girl. She's falling, but she doesn't think he'll catch her. Cause her last relationship was a disaster. Accusations every day, she didn't know why. All her calls would be ignored, he's on his own time. Should've ended it before it started. All she ever got was broken hearted. He was cheating on her, trying to flip it back on her like a victim. Now she all alone and starting over. Now she got baggage on her shoulder. But the new guy really loves her. She loves him, but she doesn't trust herself anymore. Falling in love now, losing control now. Fighting the truth, trying to hide, but I think it's alright, girl. Yeah,
oh man, hey, another 2016. Some days I don't understand how we even do this, man. I swear, y'all, we do this thing off the cuff, man. We do this off the cuff, bro. So another 2016. We talked about we talked about Dreams Nightmare, that was 2012, but Chance the Rapper, Coloring Book was 2016, and Russ Fallen 2 was 2016 as well, man. That right there. I remember, I don't know how you came across Russ. I came across Russ not knowing who he was, but just seeing him have sold out shows on Instagram. And I'm looking at these videos of just him selling out shows. I'm like, who is this person?
Yeah.
Selling out shows. This is back then was unheard of, like, man, the way he was doing it.
I don't remember how I came across him, like my initial contact with Russ.
Okay.
But what I do remember was at the time I was in college still. And, I was already 1 foot out. That's when I was like gearing up to like not be there anymore. was when I found him. Okay. And I remember he just had so much music that I was able to just press play and hear something new for like hours while I was studying. Like while I was doing my work. I wasn't doing my work. I was listening to music and being like, damn, what am I doing with my life? Why the fuck am I showing up to college when I don't want to be here? This is a waste of time. Why am I driving an hour to some campus? I don't give a fuck about what the teacher's about to tell me.
That sounds ridiculous.
I don't want to be here.
Driving an hour to campus.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
All right. Well, I got plugged in. Here is Russ on Apple show with I know Ebro and Nadeska and Low Key talking about AI. Let me make sure this plays right.
I just feel like
okay, here we go.
Yep.
From the conversations I've seen him have, it's coming off like the motivation behind signing AI artists and doing all this is control. Mm-hmm. And you're not looking for artists, you're looking for machines that follow orders.
Okay.
And you're trying to eliminate the messiness, aka the beauty of humanity, and looking at artists like these inconvenient employees. And so you're
just like the rest of the corporations.
Right. So you're kind of doing this because you want compliance, which isn't collaboration. It's not creativity.
No.
It's control. And so at that point, you're not building art, you're building product. It's very weirdly dystopian to go from like protecting the voice of an artist to programming what they say. Wow. And
would you call it like manipulative almost?
Yeah. And you're also telling the whole world that the ideal artist is the one who shuts up and obeys. It's like, that's compliance. That's not collaboration. That's not art. You're building product. And it's really kind of telling about our culture, not rap or anything, just like America, the world, that we just value convenience, speed, profit, output. So it's like.
All right. That was Russ.
Radio. That's right.
Dom's like, yeah.
That's right. Heed these words.
Dom's like, yeah.
AI freaks.
Dom's like, yeah, humans back on top.
That's right. Humanity for the win. Fuck you, computer.
All right. You what's your take on this? Talk to me before I go.
All right, I think that's pretty.
Speak for the humans, man.
I'll speak for humanity, brother. I got humanity on my back right now. I'm good. Humanity assemble.
You Russ and Guru.
Not a bad group. No, I think that, I mean, that's literally, that's how I felt about what he was doing. Okay. Because it's like he is saying that that's exactly what he was saying. Because he was saying that he wants to have this artist that he can like sell to all these different things, but he wants all the profit from it because it's AI and it's not like a thing that you could own at the moment. And like, it doesn't have rights at the moment. So it's like, I'm going to be an artist through this avatar and seek all the benefits from it while I have a stake in an AI company. So it's like, it's just, it's a weird loop. And if you follow it, it just feels weirder.
Where do you, with that, let me ask you this, right? Because Russ is speaking to, which I don't have any issue with anybody that is of that ilk when it comes to what they're about, when it comes to art, right? One of the things he talked about was as far as producing a product, right? Do you, we live in a world where essentially everybody is trying to produce a product, though, at the end of the day. Even in holistic business, someone that makes candles, you want to produce a product to sell. Somebody that sells, tea, you still want to produce a product that sells. We as artists and musicians are still creating a product to sell. While we're creating the art, we are creating something, a product to sell. When we sell our merch, we're creating a product to sell. Do you think when it comes to AI, that is looked at, would it being a machine, would it being non-human, we're actually kind of doing ourselves a service now as humans by being able to create something that is looked at as technology that is this is a product. This is not burning ourselves out as humans and trying to make ourselves be the slaves, but now making this thing over here, which is clearly in a different lane, is something by itself, solely for product. Like, why should we be trying to treat that the same way we're trying to treat ourselves? If that makes sense.
I think I kind of get it, and correct me if I'm just off the mark.
Okay.
It makes sense that that AI is moving in a direction that it's a product, because like you said, at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, it is a product. That's how you're making money. So it makes sense. I just think that like it gets dirty with how it's being done. And there's also no regulations on it right now. So again, it's like a Wild West where anything goes. So like I don't mean to get too off topic, but it's like there's also have been instances or situations where it's like, okay, when you're training your AI to make the music, you don't need to have, there's no like, it's not illegal. You know, it's not illegal to train an AI off of someone's music or their beats. But just because it's not illegal doesn't mean it's not right.
Now, you talking about on the grandstand or with Timbaland? Because he's denied not using other people's music as training data.
I'm speaking specifically to Timbaland because that's like the most prominent case of it at the moment. He has denied it. And then, I mean, I showed you a video the other day of producer K-Fresh.
Yeah, K-Fresh, yep.
And that is clearly his beat. That's being played through Timbaland's speaker, and he's saying it's Baby Timbo. Like, his producer tag is in it. So it's like...
What's interesting, I caught that live with Curtis. I caught that live.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I caught that live.
Well, then you tell me what happened, because that's live is different. How did that go?
Well, I mean, shout out to K-Fresh. I think he did a great job. If you all want to go watch that, go to YouTube, watch Curtis King. Curtis King does some great content online on YouTube. When it comes to music right now, he's really killing. One of the people that's just been, he's over the past year, specifically when this Kendrick and Drake beef definitely popped off. He's been just providing dope content daily when it comes to the music business. And he had K-Fresh, who's produced for just a plethora of people in the industry. Usher. He's produced for a bunch of people in the game. But K-Fresh, his sentiment, he wouldn't even been mad if he would have got a shout out.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he was also part of dang, my mind went slip. But he's also been part of the business. If you're familiar with The Business, which The Business should have been producing for Lil Wayne. The Business did a lot of production for Lil Wayne early days, the early Carter days. But he was a ghost producer for The Business. So
that's a different tier right there. That's crazy.
Yeah. So he already has the ego. He already has the type mindset where, look, I've already come through a system in the industry where it's not about, it's not about me as an artist getting my notoriety, but I do want to be seen, shown some love.
For sure.
I want to address that. I actually want to address that conversation. That maybe I want some time for that one to bake, because that was interesting. Because I was watching that and it was interesting because Timbaland, it's just interesting. I don't know. See, this is the thing, right? And I want to make this. I don't want this to sound like I'm negating or dismissing K-Fresh.
Okay.
What I don't know is with AI music is if I tell it to play, right?
Yeah.
If I say create me a Just Blaze beat style for my dance record. What I don't know is that it's going to take elements of Pump It Up, Just Blaze. Yeah. What I don't know if it's going to take elements, because AI is still like morphing.
Yeah.
But what I don't know if it takes elements of that and create something where I'm like, in my head as a producer, I'm listening to, I'm like, oh, okay, that is Pump It Up too. Or if somebody else that didn't hear it, AI doesn't know what you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not dismissing. I'm not trying. I just want to know from Timbaland. I want that conversation now to Timbaland to be like, hey, bro, K-Fresh, a very known producer in the game.
Yeah.
Has said that, and it has had now, this has been now made a real conversation. You had Baby Timbo create something that was his.
Yes,
and
for sure.
What's your take on that? Where are we at? Because from Timbaland's standpoint, again, he said he's not training, but also if you're not training, it's training from somewhere, right? And
yes,
and I mean, as somebody like for myself doing graphic design, well, I still do my own natural design. There are elements in AI where I'll be like, hey, create me a font. Because you can go, man, there's so many fonts out here. It's like if you go for a synth sound, there's so many synths.
Yeah, for sure.
What I do is I go to AI and I'm like, create me a font. I'm going for sexy, bold, clean for this event I'm producing. And it'll create the font for me. And from there, I will then implement that and edit it within my own natural design. Now, I got a deadline to meet with this. You know what I'm saying? I can sit there all day. I've sat there all day for 2 hours trying to figure out the right font. And then boom, I was able to put a concept in here so they can help me meet my deadline and it met my expectations. What happens now when a producer says, hey, I got a deadline to meet. I got this network. Netflix is hitting me up saying they need an intro for this show. If I can't meet it by this time, they're going to go with another producer. I need a synth that sounds like the 80s. I need an 80s synth.
Yeah.
And then I need drums that give off Rocky, like,
Yeah.
And then that producer is so young, he doesn't know it's actually
that part.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, what do we do in that moment? I'm not looking for you to, respond. I'm just kind of laying out a whole. I'm laying out how fresh we're still in this thing.
Yeah, you're right. We are very fresh. We're very fresh. But I also since we are fresh, I still think it's important to acknowledge what's gonna come with it. And not just be what's blindly optimistic. like people aren't gonna take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Because they are already. I saw the other day that Disney is suing AI companies because they're able to replicate their IP, and it's like, oh, okay. See, look, now one of the big dogs are saying, hey, y'all need to stop, or you need to pay us every time you need. There needs to be some sort of terms and conditions to this, and it's like, oh, okay, all right. It's now that the big companies are answering the chat, what's going to happen to music and other things like that? Because there needs to be something, because I'm not going to act like AI is just going to go away. That's like saying, oh, the internet's a fad. No, it's a part of everyday life now. And AI will be a part of everyday life to some extent. But I feel like we need to be mindful of what that's actually going to look like.
So, you know what I love about talking music with Dom and Lee?
Riz Radio.
I will say I love law. I love what man has created with law. And I think Disney I do. I do because when you can find out how others are using it, then you have to figure out how to use it for yourself.
Exactly.
So I think Disney is finding themselves in a very interesting loophole where creators can use public domain versions of characters. Public, for anybody listening out there, look up what public domain means and how you're able to alter them slightly to avoid copyright claims. So if you're able to, now Mickey has ears that fold back versus just stick up, but clearly that's Mickey, obviously.
For sure.
But his ears fold back. Guess what? Oh, also, let's not forget about parody or satire.
Oh, that's already illegal. I mean, that's already legal. Sorry. Which is crazy.
U.S. copyright law protects parody and satire as fair use. So when we're talking about if the AI can just clearly mock, it's a mock. When you go into these AI sites, actually they're doing things in mock. You see Goofy hanging from it. That's not. What it is.
It's satire. But
so now whose side are you on? Because if Disney really fights, you're not fighting against AI anymore. You're fighting now against all creators, but because how are you going to tell somebody that was AI generated if the artist's like, no, I generated myself?
Yep. I know. And you know what? I mean, to your point, Mickey Mouse is now public domain. I don't know if you knew that. It's literally public domain now. So it's like, all right. Oh, but I also did see, which I think is I think it's a good move.
Yeah,
is that Disney is going to be putting out not a song. Disney will be putting out a movie that isn't generated. They're going back to hand drawn. So I'm like, see, that's a good play because now you're saying we're still Disney. We're still Disney.
Hand drawn by who, dog?
I know. By computers? By the prompt?
I'm sorry. In 2025, bro. When is this movie coming out? In 2035?
Who knows, man? They used to do it. Those movies were great.
No, they did. I'm with you. I just don't know if people remember how those movies looked, how the animation went.
I mean, for sure.
Was in 2025. You think we have the patience to look at a hand-drawn movie like they had the patience back then? Look at Steamboat Willie and like, bro.
You know what?
I get it. I get it. I know.
Your point. You produce on an MPC.
I get it.
People don't produce on NPCs anymore. You produce music without a dog.
Crazy. That is crazy, actually. I thought NPCs were actually like
standard. Hey, back in the day, that shit was that's gold standard.
Hey, bro, you got an NPC. You got
it. Hey, man.
Yeah, the day's like, nah, bro. I'm right here I'm on my laptop, bro.
I'm on an app on my phone called BandLab.
BandLab or GarageBand.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. Being independent. Riz Radio.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That Disney case to me is gonna be tricky. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. We'll keep talking about that because
it's gonna set a precedent. That's why.
That's again. It's you're trying to look out for I don't know, because now at this standpoint, you're gonna tell me that Disney doesn't have their own AI department. You're telling me the corporation, the Walt Disney, does not have a department that they're going to use AI for as well? Come on, bro.
I don't know.
Come on now.
I don't know. Studio. I mean,
y'all have the money to make the best AI system ever and get rid of hundreds of designers.
For sure. But I also think it comes down to like your mindset and your mission and what you're trying to actually do. Because Studio Ghibli films, like that guy, he didn't want anything generated by computers. Everything is hand drawn. And those movies definitely speak for themselves. So it's like, what do you want? What are you going for?
What are you going for?
I know. You know what this needs?
Give me some, man. Give me some thing. Bring it back, man. Riz Radio. Oh man. Oh, he gave us the Riz Radio without the echo.
Riz Radio.
Yikes. So I will say this though, it's interesting too, because AI itself is just a phrase, whether you're talking about whether you use it to say artificial, advanced, advantage, whether you use it for anything, there are many different companies, right? And they all have to label themselves when they're going signing, when they're registering their business, they have to register as AI. But there's so many different companies that are going to initiate several different ways of how something's created, right? So that's going to be the next question, because one thing Timbaland did say in the interview is that he did agree with Guru that, these companies, they're just a bunch of tech guys too.
Yeah.
I think that's why he wants to be in that room, is that so that there's an artist or some kind of artistic mind in here in these rooms with just these tech guys, because
that's fair.
Timbaland, when you talk about a style, like the funny thing is nobody, when it comes to music, artists don't really own their style. And I think that's another conversation. Timbaland, come on now, Timbaland, Timbaland doesn't own what that drum sound like.
No.
Travis Scott ad-libs. Travis Scott doesn't own the ad-libs if you've heard them.
Lit.
Yeah, it's exact. Thank you, because I totally was about to.
It's lit.
There you go. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 21 Savage.
21.
Which craziest one of the craziest ad-libs. Let me be honest with you. It's so simple that it's just like, how'd you think of that?
And it fills the gaps. So
that's literally what it does.
It fills the gaps. Like he'll clearly stop 21, and he could just go to something else.
Oh God. Fucking what? What do you man. Yeah, you don't own your style, and that's an awkward conversation. It's an awkward conversation because it's like it's a style made popular by you. And then once it's popular, it's out there. And especially if you're thinking with a business mind, such as labels do, they're like, all right, be that person now.
Yeah.
Do that. But hey, if you do it well enough, they can't exactly duplicate it. They can get close.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Like you can obviously trademark your name, your logo, your brand. When it comes to like the 3-dimensional styles, right?
Yeah,
your name. But when it comes to using like a distinct vocal tag or like producer tags,
you know what I just thought of?
Talk to me, man.
You know how crazy it would be if we were able to copyright vocal chains? You know how crazy that would be if you were the only one that was allowed to have a certain vocal chain? You know how crazy that would be? Oh my gosh. We would
well,
oh man.
Well, that's interesting, right? Because now that gets into the publishing end. Let me make sure if I say this right. Interpolation.
Got you.
Interpolation.
You think a vocal chain is interpolation?
So that's what made my mind think of that, right? So in music, interpolation refers to like technically the technique of re-recording a portion of a copyrighted song and including it in a new song, right? But it's a distinct form. It's basically sampling, which involves a direct snippet of the original recording. But it's creating a sound alike experience.
Okay.
Right, of interpolation. For those that's listening may not know what interpolation is. But if you're wondering, out there what sampling versus interpolation, sampling involves, let me look up just kind of give you a clear definition, because I can go off my head, but I don't want to kind of like spitball for those that may be listening want the actual. So you may have something you about to say. What you about to say, bro?
I was gonna say you should just go off your head and misinform the people. Let them know.
Look, sampling involves directly using a portion of the music, right? It's just that, right? It's just that. Like but when it comes to interpolation, it involves re-recording. So like I could go to a song and I could be like 21, right?
That's fine.
They require some, but the thing about it is, depending on that, right? They do require some kind of permission of the copyright holders of the song. But that's where it gets. I think that's where it gets tricky. Maybe, and I think sometimes it just comes down to how big the song is and how big the song is when it comes to, like, if I go to the mic, I say 21.
Yeah.
Am I saying that as like? Am I using the same phrase? Am I using the same style? Am I using it in the same sense of how the song is? And am I stealing directly like that, or am I just re-recording something and making it sound fly? Am I paying homage too? That's a way that you can get away with something if you're paying homage. I think it comes down to understanding the difference between, what's licensed and what it matters to you. what does it? How does it matter to you as an artist? What does the song mean to you, an artist, when it comes to using something? So when you talk about the vocal, like being able to, you're talking about copyrighting vocal chains, right?
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, I'm glad we don't, but
I was about to say I don't know, because
I wouldn't want that.
Okay.
I don't want that. No, I don't want that at all. Don't do that, please.
Okay. That's what I didn't know if you were saying like, yeah, like
no.
Because I don't know, man. If you talking about people being sassy now in lawsuits,
oh my God,
you will hear some of the pettiest things of that is mine.
Yeah, you use 0.5 of R comp, so I need money. Can you not? Yeah, like I don't need that. We don't need more litigation on things that don't fucking matter. Please. Already being able to like have a ownership of like a chord progression or like a certain chord is crazy. Like,
right.
What are you talking about? There's only a certain amount of notes in the world. And now you're telling me that I can't go ba 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 because someone else went ba 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 30 years ago? That's weird. Stop that. Like, and I also think that drums should be free range. That's rhythm. You're going to copyright rhythm? That's weird, bro.
Yeah.
We've been having rhythm since before we could speak.
And the thing about it is, the funny thing with artists is just, here's something that, newsflash, no matter how creative you are, I get it. Everybody's a genius in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, somewhere in that world, somewhere in a time period, that rhythm was created before you.
Seriously, legitimately. I promise, yes. All your ideas are not fresh. You might just be saying it today, but it was said before. I promise you.
It came from somewhere. I think that's a interesting.
See, that was the other thing I thought about after we had a conversation about AI the other day.
Okay,
that I don't think that AI will ever be able to create like a human, simply because if it won't, like, I don't know if, man, how do I even say that? I don't really know if like people that aren't creative or like specifically when it comes to music, like I don't know if they understand that, at least for a lot of artists that I've spoken to, that the majority of like your greatest ideas don't really come from you. They're just out there, and you are the vessel for the moment that it chooses you. And if you don't take it, it goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I don't think that AI will be able to create like humans, like truly.
Absolutely.
I just think that we should be like wary of it.
No, and that's why I guess I don't feel as where I stand, because at the end of the day, creation comes from chaos, bro. A freaking AI is operating off of logistics and logical, rational reasoning, thinking. Humans operate off emotions, operate off irrational decisions. A lot of your greatest songs, the lyrics are talking about just moments in
life
that you have to actually just screw up.
You have to live.
You have to live it and just actually do something that doesn't make sense. So that's why when it comes down to the conversation, it's just like, humans aren't going anywhere. The thing about it is, for us, is to understand, for us to not become robotic within ourselves. And I think that starts before AI. We gotta look at the times that we gotta look at the times that we're in right now and step out of the norms of what they're trying to get us to do. Being on social media, how we're being on it. That's why as artists, I love the conversation. I think it was part of like alignment in the universe for Russ and Chance. Whether Chance was putting gloss on it or whatever, him even putting out the concept of, hey, independent, and because now it started getting people to realize that, I can do an exclusive deal with this company. I think that was a good wave to start, because in that same time frame, Drake does his exclusive deal with Apple, with View in 2016.
Crazy money, crazy bag, crazy bags. Sorry, that's crazy.
No.
He been making crazy bags his whole career, and brother's like, I'm not worth enough. Come on, brother. Your last check was $500 million.
I'm not, but that's what I do take his argument on that though. Because at the end of the day, if he's done some auditing, I mean, you don't even need his team to do the auditing to see that these companies have made billions off his catalog.
For sure, absolutely.
So
I agree with him on that point. But it's also like, you knew You know what I mean? There's not a part of you that didn't know that you're making that much money. And if your lawyer isn't knowing what's in these terms, that's on you at the end of the day with how big he is.
Man, how many times have we seen in music history, bro? As much as we think
for sure
an artist should know, they don't know.
I'm saying more in this current state of Drake.
Bro, you know it's okay in the current state, but going back 10 years ago when you're signed to 5 different people and you just wanna make getting what you're getting off of even being signed to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Prime example, how many times in life did you do something now and you don't realize how that's going to travel with you 5 years down the road? You signing a contract now in 2009.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, okay, I'm gonna sign this for however long. You don't even know the type of star. I'm sorry, Drake. We knew Drake was gonna be big. Pause. We knew he's gonna be great. But I don't think in 2009, 2010, we're thinking that he's going to be where he is in 2016.
10 years. Yeah.
I mean, I it's kind of weird because yes, you know he's great, but he did something different when he put out One Dance and when he put out Hotline Bling. That shifted a lot. I think Take Care was great.
Yeah, I think it solidified him as like a pop star.
Perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, because I think he had a good trajectory, but when he put out One Dance and Hotline Bling, it was. Actually, man, we might have to have a conversation of has Drake actually. You know what? I want to argue now the bots really did help this man's career because while I think he had a control, I think he really has been the man and the boy. When you really look at the catalog though.
We're opening a can of worms. Let's open those can of worms tomorrow. We'll do that.
We'll do that tomorrow because when you look at the catalog. Okay. Yeah.
Riz Radio,
man. But I appreciate it. We've done it. We've done it again. It's a good talk. This is a good Monday talk about more on AI.
We done did it.
For sure. All right, man. Till next time. We out of this thing.
Peace.
Peace.